Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Valsa Williams and with me is Anita Anand with the Midday News. The headlines. Under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, Centre allocates over 198 lakh tons of food grains for next 5 months. Centre provides over 38 crore 54 lakh COVID vaccine doses to states and union territories. More than 37 crore 21 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.2%. Over 45,000 patients recover in the country during last 24 hours. 15 European Union countries recognize India's Covishield vaccine for travellers. In Bihar, flood wreaks havoc in Darbhanga, Samastipur, West Champaran and Muzaffarpur districts. Relief and rescue operations underway. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to hold bilateral meeting with his Georgian counterpart today to also unveil newly installed statue of Mahatma Gandhi in Georgian capital Tbilisi. Olympic flame arrives in Tokyo amidst a low-key welcoming ceremony due to corona pandemic. In Wimbledon tennis, Ashley Barty to face Karolina Pliskova in women's singles final today. In Copa America soccer, Argentina to clash with Brazil in the title clash tonight at Rio de Janeiro. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011 23978046 and 1075. And now the news. The centre is running the longest ever exercise of distributing free food grains to people during this COVID pandemic time. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had announced Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana to ameliorate the hardships being faced by the poor due to economic disruption caused by coronavirus. More from our correspondent.
Under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, free food grains are being distributed to around 80 crore beneficiaries covered under National Food Security Act. 5 kg per person per month. Food grains will be provided from May to November this year. The beneficiaries belonging to both Antyodaya Anna Yojana and Priority Householders categories will get the allocation over and above their regular monthly entitlement. Last year, the government had also provided the benefit to the poor people during the COVID-19 pandemic. Under the scheme, a total of 305 lakh tons food grains had been lifted between April to November last year by the states and union territories. With Dipendra Kumar, Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
The Consumer Affairs Ministry said for PMGKAY3, a total of over 78 lakh tons of food grains have been lifted by the states and union territories for 2 months for May and June this year. A total of over 198 lakh tons of food grains have been allocated to states and UTs for the next 5 months from July to November under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana 4. Out of this, around 4 lakh tons of food grains have been lifted by states and union territories so far. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a phone call today with his Vietnamese counterpart Pham Minh Chinh. Mr. Modi congratulated Pham Minh Chinh on his appointment as the Prime Minister of Vietnam and expressed confidence that the India-Vietnam Comprehensive Strategic Partnership will continue to become stronger under his able guidance. Prime Minister Modi welcomed the fact that both countries share a similar vision of an open, inclusive, peaceful and rules-based Indian Ocean region. He said, India-Vietnam Comprehensive Strategic Partnership can contribute to promote regional stability, prosperity and development. The Prime Minister also noted that both India and Vietnam were presently fellow members of the UN Security Council. The Prime Minister thanked PM Chin for the valuable support provided by the government and people of Vietnam during the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic in India. The leaders agreed that both countries should continue consultations and cooperation to support each other's continuing efforts against the pandemic. Both Prime Ministers also reviewed the state of bilateral relations and shared their views on different areas of cooperation. Noting that the year 2022 marked the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries, they agreed to celebrate this auspicious milestone in a befitting manner through various commemorative activities. Prime Minister Modi also invited PM Chin to undertake an official visit to India at an early suitable date.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reviewed the progress of oxygen augmentation and availability across the country. During the review meeting, officials briefed the Prime Minister about the progress on installation of PSA oxygen plants across the country. More than 1,500 PSA oxygen plants are being set up across the nation. The Prime Minister was informed that once all PSA oxygen plants coming up through PM CARES would be functional, they would support more than 4 lakh oxygenated beds. Mr. Modi instructed the officials to ensure that these plants are made functional at the earliest and work closely with the state governments. Officers apprised the Prime Minister that they are in regular touch with officers from state governments regarding fast-tracking the oxygen plants. The government has strongly appealed to people not to lower their guard in the fight against coronavirus, as the threat of the virus is not over. Addressing media in New Delhi, Joint Secretary in the Health Ministry, Love Agrawal, referred to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's remarks during his first meeting with the Council of Ministers about violation of COVID-appropriate behavior by the people. He said giving relaxation in restrictions does not mean that the pandemic is over and that people should continue to follow COVID-safe behavior. Speaking about the current situation of the pandemic, Love Agrawal said the country is registering a continuous decline in daily cases of COVID-19 and further increase in the rate of recovery from infection in the past 7 to 8 weeks. During the media briefing, Niti Aayog member Health Dr. V.K. Paul said the guidelines for vaccination of pregnant women have been issued last week after deep discussions and evaluation of scientific data.
मेरी विनती है कि गर्भवती महिलाओं को वैक्सीन लगाने के लिए प्रेरित करें, परिवार उनकी मदद करें, समाज उनको वैक्सीन की उपलब्धता जहां है उन सेंटर्स के साथ जोड़ें और इसके लिए कोई टेस्ट कराना है पहले से कोई बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं है। जाइए अपना वैक्सीन लगाइए, वैक्सीन आर सेफ, वैक्सीन आर इफेक्टिव और ये मुहिम हमारे देश में शुरू होनी चाहिए।
More than 37 crore 21 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said more than 30 lakh 55,000 vaccine doses were administered during the last 24 hours. The national recovery rate stands at 97.2%. More than 45,000 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. Till now, over 2 crore 99 lakh people have recovered from COVID-19 infection. India reported over 42,000 new cases in the last 24 hours. India's active caseload is currently at 4,55,033. Active cases constitute 1.48% of total cases. Weekly positivity rate remains below 5% and it is currently at 2.34%. Daily positivity rate is at 2.19%. It is less than 3% for 19 consecutive days. 1,206 people have lost their lives due to COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. With this, the death toll due to the pandemic has reached 4,07,145. Testing capacity has been substantially ramped up and more than 42 crore 90 lakh tests have been conducted till now. Yesterday, more than 19 lakh 55,000 tests were conducted. The Union government today said more than 38 crore 54 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, the Union government has been supporting the states and UTs by providing them COVID vaccines free of cost. In the new phase of the universalization of the vaccination drive, the government will procure and supply 75% of the vaccines being produced by the vaccine manufacturers in the country. The Health Ministry said the government is committed to accelerating the pace and expanding the scope of COVID-19 vaccination throughout the country. The new phase of universalization of COVID-19 vaccination commenced from the 21st of last month.
Madhya Pradesh yesterday reported 29 new cases of COVID-19 that pushed its tally of infections to 7,90,125. Oxygen plants are being set up to ensure availability of oxygen, along with increasing number of ICU beds in hospitals before any possibility of the third wave in the state. More from our correspondent.
The active cases in the state reduced to 406. A state reported one death yesterday, taking the toll to 9,024, while 38 patients were recovered from infection. Indore and Bhopal reported 7 cases each. More than 70,000 tests are being conducted every day. A total of 170 PSA oxygen plants are being set up in the state from Government of India, state government and other sources. Out of these, 21 PSA plants have been set up and the rest will be set up by the month of September. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
The Gujarat government has decided to extend the monthly monetary assistance to the orphan children due to the COVID-19 pandemic till they attain the age of 21 years. Earlier, a monthly assistance of 4,000 rupees was announced until the children reach the age of 18 years. Chief Minister Vijay Rupani interacted with more than 30 such orphan children at his residence yesterday who lost their parents to COVID-19. More from our correspondent.
Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani announced that under the Mukhyamantri Bal Seva Yojana, the monthly assistance of Rs 4,000 for orphan children will be given until they reach the age of 21. Earlier, the Gujarat government had also announced that such children will be given preference for educational loans for higher studies. They will also get all benefits under the Mukhyamantri Amrutam Yojana and other government schemes. In a statement, the government has said that all orphan children above the age of 14 will be given vocational training and those above the age of 18 will be given skill development training. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray assured that the state government will ensure sufficient fund availability for implementing measures to contain the spread of COVID-19. While addressing a meeting of the State Disaster Management Authority, he directed the concerned authorities to plan with the help of the task force to prevent further spread of the deadly virus. More from our correspondent.
Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray said that the discussions are ongoing as to whether those who have taken both doses of COVID vaccine should be tested again or not. There are also calls for easing of restrictions. Therefore, the state government has initiated efforts to start the work in compliance with the COVID protocol in consultation with various industrialists. In Mumbai, level 3 restrictions are still in place as the crisis persists. However, the municipal administration is considering giving concessions to those who have taken 2 doses at places other than railways. Additional Commissioner of Civic Body Suresh Kakani said that a meeting will be held in Mantralaya on July 15 and a decision will be taken in this regard. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Ladakh, COVID-19 situation is improving with daily cases coming down. On the other hand, Ladakh is fast completing vaccination in the region. Here is a report.
With stringent SOPs and vaccine protection, COVID-positive cases in Ladakh region have significantly come down. With cases in just double digits in the districts like Leh and Kargil, the total number of positive cases in UT Ladakh is now at 131. Vaccination program in Ladakh is in progress. With no vaccine hesitancy, UT covered 100% of population with first dose and over 68% with second one. UT medical teams are visiting remote locations to inoculate migrant laborers against virus in places like Daulat Beg Oldi and other places in eastern Ladakh region. On the other hand, to meet any eventuality, Ladakh is also improving its COVID management infrastructure in the region. Ladakh Lieutenant Governor R.K. Mathur inaugurated 100 LPM oxygen generating plants in Dras, Padum, Janskar and Diskit in Nubra under PM CARES Fund. Ramesh Chandra, All India Radio News, Leh.
World Health Organization WHO Chief Scientist Soumya Swaminathan has said that 15 countries in the European Union EU now recognize Covishield vaccine for travellers. It has been produced by the Serum Institute of India and developed by AstraZeneca and Oxford University. Swaminathan's remarks come after Belgium recognized the Covishield vaccine yesterday. Charge d'Affaires of Belgium Embassy Arnaud Lyon said recognition of Covishield by his country will have a positive impact for everyone getting the vaccine shot in India and abroad. Switzerland, Iceland and some EU countries had earlier accepted Covishield for travel entry. Estonia had confirmed that it will recognize all the vaccines authorized by the Government of India for travel by Indians.
You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, Centre allocates over 198 lakh tons of food grains for next 5 months. Centre provides over 38 crore 54 lakh COVID vaccine doses to states and union territories. More than 37 crore 21 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.2%. Over 45,000 patients recover in the country during last 24 hours. 15 European Union countries recognize India's Covishield vaccine for travelers. In Bihar, flood wreaks havoc in Darbhanga, Samastipur, West Champaran, Muzaffarpur districts. Relief and rescue operations underway. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to hold bilateral meeting with his Georgian counterpart today to also unveil newly installed statue of Mahatma Gandhi in Georgian capital Tbilisi. Olympic flame arrives in Tokyo amidst a low-key welcoming ceremony due to corona pandemic. In Wimbledon tennis, Ashley Barty to face Karolina Pliskova in women's singles final today. In Copa America soccer, Argentina to clash with Brazil in the title clash tonight at Rio de Janeiro. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The Child Helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 080 4611 007. The Ayush COVID-19 Counselling helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back to the Midday News. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar arrived in Georgia yesterday on a 2-day visit. He was received by Foreign Minister of Georgia, David Zalkalyani. This is the first visit of an Indian External Affairs Minister to independent Georgia. During the visit, Dr. Jaishankar will have bilateral meeting with his counterpart covering various aspects of bilateral relations as well as exchange views on issues of regional and global interest. He is also expected to call on other dignitaries during their visit. Dr. Jaishankar will also unveil the newly installed statue of Mahatma Gandhi in the city of Tbilisi. In Bihar, flood has wreaked havoc in Darbhanga, Samastipur, West Champaran and Muzaffarpur districts of the state as flood water is fast engulfing fresh areas of these districts. Flood situation turned grim in Darbhanga following breach of embankment at 4 places. People from low-lying areas are being shifted to safer places. They have taken shelter on national highways and railway track. Deputy Chief Minister Renu Devi said 603 boats have been pressed into service to evacuate marooned people. In all, 28 people lost their lives due to drowning in flood-affected areas of the state during the last 24 hours. 10 districts, including East Champaran, West Champaran, Sitamarhi and Madhubani, are reeling under the impact of floods. Total 122 community kitchens have been set up in affected areas to provide food for affected people. The state government has instructed to vaccinate people in flood-ravaged areas. To achieve 100% vaccination in flood areas, health officials are taking help of boats. In the first phase, 2 Taikwali boats have been pressed into service for vaccination in flood-affected Katra block of Muzaffarpur district.
Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi today This is Mr. Dhami's first visit to Delhi after assuming the charge of Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. During his visit, Mr. Dhami is scheduled to meet several cabinet ministers and senior BJP leaders. In Odisha, 2 jawans of the Special Operation Group injured in an encounter that broke out today between the security forces and Maoists along the border of Bodh and Kandhamal districts. They have since been airlifted to capital Bhubaneswar for treatment. Their condition is stated to be stable. More in this report.
The injured security personnel were airlifted in a BSF helicopter used by DG Police himself, who diverted his tour to Koraput to reach ground zero to lend a helping hand to the Jawan. Speaking to media in Bhubaneswar soon after he landed along with the injured Jawans, DG Police Mr. Abhay said that a few Naxalites have also been injured in the incident. The incident occurred along the border of Bodh and Kandhamal districts of the state during a search operation by the security forces earlier today. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
This is All India Radio giving you the news.
दुनिया रंग बिरंगी, खट्टे मीठे रसीले समाचारों का सतरंगी खजाना आकाशवाणी पर। खबरें होंगी हटकर, जानेंगे कुछ अलग, हंसेंगे खुलकर, करेंगे सजग। सुनना न भूलें सोमवार और मंगलवार आज सवेरे तथा शनिवार और रविवार कार्यक्रम परिक्रमा में।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reviewed preparations for facilitation of India's contingent at Tokyo Olympics. Mr. Modi discussed the logistical details, their vaccination status and the multidisciplinary support being given. On the 13th of this month, the Prime Minister will interact with Tokyo-bound athletes virtually. In a tweet, he said he would be interacting with the Olympic-bound athletes to wish them luck. The Olympic flame arrived in Tokyo yesterday, but the public kept away from a low-key welcoming ceremony because of coronavirus fears, a day after the announcement that spectators would be banned from most of the Games events. On a rainy morning, exactly 2 weeks before the opening ceremony of the biggest sporting event since the pandemic began, the flame was brought on stage in a lantern and handed to Tokyo Governor Yuriko Koike.
In our Olympic special today, with 14 days to go for the Tokyo Olympic Games, AIR today will take a look at Rahi Sarnobat, India's hope for a medal in the 25 meters women's pistol event.
Born on October 30th, 1990, Rahi Sarnobat was brought up in Kolhapur city in Maharashtra. She was passionate about shooting and drew inspiration from 50-meter rifle pro world champion Tejaswini Sawant. She won her first gold medal at the 2008 Commonwealth Youth Games held in Pune, and in the 2011 World Cup, Rahi claimed a bronze medal which got her a berth in the 2012 Olympics. She became India's first pistol shooter to clinch a gold medal in the 2013 edition of the ISSF World Cup. Though Rahi had won gold at the 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games, Rahi returned to the Asian Games in 2018 and became the first Indian woman to bag a gold in 25-meter pistol shooting event. As the 30-year-old Rahi aims at Olympic glory in Tokyo, she is once again hitting top form, having clinched gold in the ISSF World Cup held recently in the Croatian city of Osijek. AIR News.
Listeners from all corners of the country are participating in the Olympic quiz of AIR News. To participate in the quiz, tune in to our Sports Scan program every day at 7:20 p.m.
In the run-up to the Tokyo Olympics, the News Services Division of All India Radio in its Sports Scan program is broadcasting every day Olympics quiz with AIR News. Olympics quiz आकाशवाणी समाचार के साथ in Hindi. Every day a question related to Olympics will be asked at the beginning and closing of the program. To participate in this program, listeners can send the replies by email on airsportscan@gmail.com. The first correct answer received through email will be adjudged the winner of the quiz. The name of the winner will be announced in SportsScan program the next day. It will also be flashed on AIR Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. the Sports Authority of India will provide India team jersey to the winner. So tune in to the Sports Scan program every day at 7:20 p.m. on FM Gold and on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. In Wimbledon tennis tournament, Australia's top seed Ashley Barty will take on Czech 8th seed Karolina Pliskova in the women's singles title clash this evening. In the men's singles, defending champion Novak Djokovic defeated Denis Shapovalov and set up a final encounter with Italy's Matteo Berrettini tomorrow. Berrettini earned a 6-3, 6-0, 6-7, 3-7, 6-4 win over Poland's Hubert Hurkacz in the semi-final match. The 7th seed is the first Italian to reach the men's singles final since 1976. In men's doubles encounter this evening, Britain's Neil Skupski, along with his American partner Desiree Krauchik, will take on China's Shui Chang and Australia's John Peers. In the Copa America Soccer, Lionel Messi has the chance to win his first major tournament with Argentina when they meet Brazil in the final in Rio tomorrow morning. Messi has won 10 La Liga titles in Spain and 4 Champions Leagues during a trophy-laden career at Barcelona, but his only success with the senior Argentina team is at the 2008 Olympics in China. Argentina have not won a top-level tournament since the 1993 Copa America.
In Eurocup football tournament, England will take on Italy in the final match to be played at Wembley Stadium tomorrow. England reached their first final in 55 years as Harry Kane settled a tense semi-final against Denmark with the extra-time strike that sealed 2-1 win at Wembley. For the first time since beating West Germany in the 1966 World Cup final, England will contest in the title match of a major tournament.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. The national capital Delhi is likely to have a thunderstorm with rain. The minimum temperature was 29 degrees, maximum may go up to 38 degrees. Mumbai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was 25, maximum expected to be around 31. Chennai, rain or thunder showers would occur towards evening or night. The temperature will vary between 26 and 36 degrees. Kolkata to witness partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was 28, maximum will go up to 35. Jammu is likely to have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius, maximum will be around 36. Srinagar may witness mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Temperature will hover between 23 and 32. Leh is likely to have a mainly clear sky. Minimum and maximum temperature will be between 13 and 29 degrees. Gilgit expected to have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 16 and 40 degrees. Muzaffarabad is likely to have a clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature was 24. Maximum will be around 36. Itanagar will have cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was 23. Maximum will be around 30. Kohima is likely to have cloudy sky with heavy rain. Minimum temperature was 18 degrees. Maximum will be around 26. Imphal may have cloudy sky with moderate rain. Agartala expected to have cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Aizawl is likely to have a cloudy sky with moderate rain. Shillong is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Gangtok may have cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, Centre allocates over 198 lakh tons of food grains for next 5 months. Centre provides over 38 crore 54 lakh COVID vaccine doses to states and union territories. More than 37 crore 21 lakh vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.2%. Over 45,000 patients recover in the country during last 24 hours. 15 European Union countries recognize India's Covishield vaccine for travellers. In Bihar, flood wreaks havoc in Darbhanga, Samastipur, West Champaran and Muzaffarpur districts. Relief and rescue operations underway. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to hold bilateral meeting with his Georgian counterpart today to also unveil newly installed statue of Mahatma Gandhi in Georgian capital Tbilisi. Olympic flame arrives in Tokyo amidst a low-key welcoming ceremony due to corona pandemic. In Wimbledon tennis, Ashley Barty to face Karolina Pliskova in women's singles final today. In Copa America soccer, Argentina to clash with Brazil in title clash tomorrow morning at Rio de Janeiro. And with that, we end the midday news.